Hey there, folks. Santee at the Arizona Ghost Riders here. The business end of a six-gun earns no interest. Those are some true words. So let's look into it.
You're lying, little man. You haven't got nerve enough.
Now, we have numerous shooting incidents in the Old West. Some were elaborated on and have gone down in history. Many just get buried in the quagmire of scrapes that happened in rowdy towns. However, you can find them if you look. Towns like Fort Worth, Texas had a section that was known as Hell's Halfacre, and it was one of the most violent places in the Wild West. Drunken cowboys were shooting off their guns so frequently that the newspapers wouldn't report them unless someone was seriously injured or died. Trying to keep a lid on all of this was City Marshal Jim Courtright and his small force of policemen. Jim had the reputation of a fearsome gunfighter, which was enough to make most inebriates stop their carousing and go peacefully to the city jail. Interestingly, Courtright had not been in many shooting scrapes, but was brave and clearly not a man to test. In the 20th century, biographers built a legend around him, making him the fastest man in Texas with a gun. Well, maybe not.
Jim Courtright?
Fast draw kid himself. The whole town's scared to death of him.
A famous gambler and gunfighter showed up in Fort Worth in 1884 and became part owner of a popular saloon called the White Elephant. He was Luke Short, and his reputation was solid.
I knew you were a gunfighter.
In 1881, he'd shot Charlie Storms in Tombstone, and prior to that, a man in Leadville. Both adversaries had drawn their guns first. Jim Courtright at this point in his life was not doing well financially and had set up a detective agency in the town. Really, it was an extortion racket, and Short was buying none of it.
No show.
Oh, don't O'Shaw me.
There's also talk of certain townsmen paying Jim to assassinate Luke Short because they were trying to squelch the gambling going on in Hell's Halfacre.
We doing anything Monday?
No, Monday be fine. You can kill him on Monday.
I'll be back this way on Monday.
Jim also wanted to return to those days when he was on top and thought Luke Short might be the ticket to his success. Courtright applied for a job and Short didn't hire him. In fact, Luke said he'd pay Jim to stay away. Ouch.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
We'll probably never know which of these scenarios brought this to a boil. Luke had been hearing that Jim was bad-mouthing him, and that obviously didn't sit very well. On February 8, 1887, Courtright called Luke Short out into the street in front of the White Elephant Saloon. They were on the sidewalk with Luke hanging his thumbs in his vest, and Jim told him to not go for his gun. Short said, "I don't have a gun in there, Jim." Courtright then pulled out his six-shooter, but before he could get it cocked, Luke Short pulled a gun and shot 5 times, killing Jim. This was a hard pill to swallow, and folks thought there must have been a problem with Courtright's gun because he was the fastest man in Texas. Maybe it got caught in a watch chain. Luke's first shot took off Jim's thumb, which would make it hard to handle a single-action revolver. That same bullet could have also disabled the pistol after dethumbing Jim. None of that matters because Short landed 3 out of 5 shots and Courtright never even got his hammer cocked. Nevertheless, the locals almost lynched Luke Short over it. Luckily, that never came to fruition and the case was eventually dismissed. Luke Short died 6 years later and ironically was buried 200 feet from Jim Courtright. Now, this gunfight shows us once again how quickly certain men can react in a life-threatening situation. Short was a sudden man, but Courtright was just not sudden enough. Well, folks, that's it for another episode. Thanks for watching. As always, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on down the trail. What are y'all doing? Uh-oh. Incoming cow. Incoming bovine. Hi, guys. How are you? Good to see you. You're looking good. Don't smell my phone. How are you? Doing good? I don't have any food. Want some gummy bears? Okay. Hold for cart.